Warning, it is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by my co-host Bern Podcasy, and our guest today is the Next Generation Ndub Roundtable, consisting of Rachel Ocelous, Allie Benicasa, and the Ginger Coxman, Brad Richardson. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you want to be on the show, you can email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please just like and subscribe so my wife stops giving me so much shit about doing the show. Benoit, you ready to get this thing started?
Can't wait, man. I was here for the first one, so I can't wait to see what the next generation is going to bring.
Damn right, brother. Damn right. All right, well, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid, share and subscribe. We're just sharing, we're just sharing, we're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Okay, so Benoit Podcasy, let me tell you something about today's roundtable. All right, we got a hell of a show today. So we've done Ndub Roundtable Part 1, right? Where, I mean, you know, it went off without a hitch, really nailed it, got some great shit in, so good that we had to do a Part 2, right? And then that was incredible, even better than the first one, almost like a Mighty Ducks Part 2. Right, which just was way, you know, maybe not way better than the first, but better, right? And then now it's come to this. We've been asked for it, and we're going to deliver Ndub Roundtable Part 3, The Next Generation. So I'd like to introduce our guests now. First, we have Rachel Ocelous. Rachel, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Love the energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Happy to see everyone.
Yeah. Been a while.
Yeah.
Allie, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hello, good. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for jumping on. I know we're in a time difference. You're in Utah right now. Is that correct?
I sure am. I'm on mountain time.
Mountain time. God damn. I think you're the first mountain time guest we've ever had. Nice. Awesome.
Don't they call Utah the Ndub of the West? I think I've heard that.
Hopefully.
Right. Yeah.
Starting soon.
Since I arrived.
Oh, man. Nice. All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you. First time, long time. And then now we have a special guest. You know his brother, Justin, a.k.a. J-Dub, as the co-host of the Working Perspectives podcast and the co-host of the Low Life podcast. But now we have the Ginger Coxman himself, the man, the myth, Brad Richardson. Brad, how are you doing, sir? Thanks for being here.
Wonderful to be here. A nickname that is completely unearned, and I have no idea where the hell that came from, but thank you.
Yeah.
Keep spreading the rumor.
No, hey, man, of course. I don't think any guy would be upset to be told, you know, the word spread around that he can slang it. So, you know, happy to help you there, buddy.
Fantastic.
Very cool. So, all right. Here's what we got going
Very
today.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So here's what we got
cool.
going today. We have a roundtable of all Ndubians. I don't know what you guys would be called, North Walians, But we're going to be asking them a couple of questions and get some history and a little insight into the neighborhood that is North Wales. First question, we'll start with Rachel. So we're going to be talking about North Wales, aka North Willie, aka North Webby, aka Nutty Wubby, aka Schwap City, aka Schwap Dubby, aka North Schwappington, aka Chalmers. AKA,
never heard of any of these.
Well, they all came from Steve Cabot. So
All right, fine.
That sounds right.
yeah.
I've been calling him Steve Cabot Cheese behind his back.
Steve Cabot.
Not
Cheese?
anymore.
Cabot Cheese, the brand.
What is, I didn't know that was a cheese.
It is.
All right. Well, cool. Well, great. I mean, he's
It's
been called a
funny.
lot worse on this show.
There's a
Very
great
It's pretty
Cabot.
funny.
It is
I've
pretty
al-
funny.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al.
I've only ever seen one Cabot cheese commercial, but it was Louis Guzman was in it. It was excellent. So
Whoa,
that's all I know about
the
Cabot cheese.
goose.
Yeah.
It's a pretty prominent shredded brand.
Mhm.
So
Wow. Man. Surprised I haven't heard of it then. I love some shredded
Yeah.
cheese.
kind
Nice.
of crazy.
All right. Well, Cabot cheese it is. It's a lot better than strong stem or whatever the hell we call them. But either way, so I'm going to start with the first question, and we're going to go with you, Rachel. So, Rachel, when did you move to North Wales?
Second grade.
Okay, so you what, like 7, 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Church and Main Street,
very cool.
right by Tony's and all the good stuff.
Sure.
And then I kept at church,
Okay.
kept church moving along down to
Right.
7th Street.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
when I met Crystal,
Crystal. I don't know if we know
Jamie
her.
Reese.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Jamie Reese was my first. I moved next door to this girl on my softball team. And I was like, I want to live next to her. She's my friend. And then my mom went through all hell to buy this house that we got evicted from. I know. And then I met Jamie. I saw
Real quick,
Crystal.
Jamie is Liam's little sister. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, keep going.
And Crystal and Jamie lived next door.
Mhm.
And I don't know, it went down in history ever since then.
We've heard a lot about 8th and Church on this show thus far in doing the roundtable, so I can imagine 7th and Church was also quite a happening spot, maybe.
Of course. I mean,
Right.
Might have been louder.
nothing like 8th and Church.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but close enough.
Yeah, Brad, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, 7th and Church was definitely competing in volume for 8th and Church. It's like the loudest house in the neighborhood, and that's some stiff competition. So
Wow.
Ocelous is, yeah.
Well, Rachel was right across from our gym teacher.
Oh,
Shut the
yeah.
hell up.
She also came and rat-tat-tatted on my door after standing there watching a movie with us secretly for 10 minutes and was like, this is really loud. And I'm like, why the fuck are you out? why are you watching Girl Interrupted with us? And my mom dated.
Wait.
Yeah.
Also, how loud are you bumping Girl
It
Interrupted?
was really loud.
It's a really good movie.
Okay,
The,
it is
the
a really
door
good
was
movie.
open.
So wait.
I see.
So
The
you're
screen was
right.
exposed.
Okay, so you have the main door open, screen door is closed, but the screen is open. You're bumping Girl Interrupted. Your gym teacher who lives next door to you comes onto your front porch, watches 10 minutes of Girl Interrupted.
Like we didn't know she was there and she was just standing there watching
Who's
until we
that?
noticed.
Is that Angelina Jolie? Is she in?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So, and she's the one that tries to stab herself in the neck with a pen or whatever. Right. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
So either way, so
Winona,
it's,
Right
right?
in the aorta.
and it's a
Yeah.
it's a female gym teacher.
Mrs. Sanat,
Don't-
let's name names.
okay.
No, Mrs. McConnell, right?
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of Mrs. Sanat.
And she had a daughter that was in a grade above us.
Yeah, that
right?
was
That's
my
a
first
tough-
friend that I wanted to live next door to.
Oh wow.
And then their dogs killed my kitten, and and I didn't care.
Wow.
do it.
It's, I mean, I'll tell you, if this is what's going on at 7th and Church, I mean, a lot to check out there, I'd say. Very cool. Nice.
Their
So
greyhounds flipped my kitten up on its nose and broke its back.
Oh,
You remember
my
that,
God.
Al? Were we friends?
do you remember
I remember those dogs.
Yeah.
do you remember the kitten's name?
Pudgy. I'll never forget.
Shout out Pudgy. One
Rip
love.
Pudge.
One love Pudge. Nice.
See you at the
Okay.
crossroads, Pudge.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
What okay, and you were also mentioning that your mom dated somebody?
I said that?
Yeah, did your mom date someone affiliated
Oh, well, if it was circling back to Girl Interrupted, my mom used to date that woman's husband. So there was like, and we lived across the street.
Well,
So I feel like she secretly had some like shit out for my mom.
Wait, so your mom used to date the gym teacher's ex-husband or
no.
husband?
So I was wrong.
Okay.
Gym teacher is next door.
Okay.
I'm talking about the woman that yelled at me about Girl Interrupted was across the street. I thought he was like a teacher.
Okay.
I thought he like did something and
No
whatever.
worries. You got
But
it.
my mom dated him when they were like in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I see.
And this
yeah.
bitch would have to, now she has to see my hot mom all the time.
I mean, I have seen your mom once. It was a long time ago, but yeah, shout out Mama Ocelous for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the way.
Nice. Okay, well, very cool. Well, thank you for answering the question when you moved to North Wales. Excellent stuff. So you originally moved to North Wales in like, let's say the mid 90s, right? You were at Church and Main Street by the famous Tony's Pizza. You told mom, this ain't gonna cut it. We gotta fucking beat it on down the road. And you wanted to move in next to your best friend's softball friend, right?
Yeah.
And is that true? You making your mom do that, or is that a joke?
Well, no, I'm an only child, so I was like, have a spoiled attitude. I wouldn't say that I was spoiled,
I mean, that's completely
but like,
gone.
oh yeah. I remember being like, I want to live here. I want to live in a house.
Yeah.
I don't want an apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All reasonable requests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So, all right. Well, very cool. And then you would stay at that house on Church Street until, you were grown up.
I would say Y2K. I moved, to 7th and Church, and that's when I like became friends with everyone.
With the Dubbers.
Now.
All right. Very cool. Nice. All right. Awesome. Very cool. So let's keep it going. Allie, same question to you. When did you move to North Wales?
I think I was like 5. I think.
Okay. And where were you at in the neighborhood?
Oh man, how would you describe that? I was
A
like
stone's throw from Clovercrest.
What is Clovercrest?
Precisely. I was like not in the borough. I was on the other side of Sumney Town, like towards Bluebell.
Like the Elm Street side?
Yes.
No.
Whoa.
Brad says
No.
But that
I don't
side,
think so. I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
well, no, it was that side, but I didn't grow up near,
It is that side.
it is that side, but keep going, like away.
Oh, okay.
from-
So you're like the developments behind it.
yes.
I see. Okay. I know where you're at. Nice. Cool. I mean, good. It's better. I would much rather live there. Nice. Okay. So
Can I just say that if I ever make a folk album, I'm going to title it "A Stone's Throw from Clovercrest" because I think that's the perfect name for a sweet little folk album.
Yeah. I could definitely
Everybody
see
what's Clovercrest?
I definitely see a CD of that at like a coffee shop one day.
Bern Podcasy presents "A Stone's Throw from Clovercrest."
Love it. Nice. What is Clovercrest?
Do they have
Clovercrest
a
is
sign
well,
that
that
says
was
like
the name.
Clovercrest?
Was the neighborhood right across from me that you knew a bunch of people in because that side of the town a lot of them went to St. Rose where you were.
How do you know I went? I didn't go to St. Rose.
No, I went to St. Rose.
Rich did.
Wait, what? You went to
No,
St. Rose?
Yeah, that's actually me and Brad have known each other longer than anyone. Because,
Wait,
well, not
Brad,
like,
you
longer
went
than
to
you
St.
guys,
Rose
but
too?
Brad was in CCD.
Okay.
Causing a
CCD.
ruckus,
Oh, yeah, baby.
and I was like,
I got all my
who is this
sacrifice.
guy?
Brad got all his
I was
sacraments.
getting kicked out of class all the time. It was unbelievable.
I didn't
Getting
know
kicked out
that.
of church class is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did all our what do they call sacraments?
Yeah.
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 Some of them, the first ones.
Stages of the cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that one, the one kid puked up on the Bible during
Yes,
Holy
Ryan
Communion or
Saketa. I'm
something.
gonna keep dropping names.
How do you
dude.
remember all the names?
Because I went to school with him. He's an
what was
asshole.
it?
I'll
What
say
was
that
his
too. Ryan Saketa.
No, don't know him. So
Yeah.
So that was like the first lesson in like public speaking. I remember them being super specific about either don't eat or make sure you eat. And then when you go up, don't lock your knees. And he was just up there starving, clenching his entire body, and then reading the Bible.
What a way to go.
Man.
Wasn't me. I was just happy it wasn't me.
Did you guys have the kid? I remember I had the kid too, who would they would put the bread in his mouth and then he would sit down and take the whole piece out of his mouth, right? Did you have that kid?
Ugh.
Oh God.
I think so.
I don't know.
He's a creep.
I can't
just
think of
remember
who it
being
was.
I remember not much of that, but being the choice of if you put your hands out or open your mouth and have this guy feed you.
Yeah.
No chance. Hands.
Yeah,
Here's
hands.
the bowl.
All day.
All day. Yeah. What's up,
Here,
Father Bowen?
please.
Feed me.
Ew.
Put it in my mouth.
It's me, Father.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not my type, Ocelous. Keep moving.
He's like, I want that little ginger kid in the back.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the redhead. That's more my speed.
Aren't
Yeah.
you friends with Brad? Set me up with your friend.
What kind of toys is he into? I already looked Ninja Turtles.
All right. Okay. So Clovercrest is a neighborhood then. I get it. So you're Stone's Throw from Stone's Throw from Clovercrest. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that was the neighborhood that was right across from mine.
Did you live near Topper?
What?
You know Topper?
Stop.
Commonly.
Yes. I lived across the street from him.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Tope Diddy, run the city, show no pity. Friend of the show,
Dude.
soon to be guest of the show.
He was friends with my brother and he was so mean. He was so mean.
Yeah, he was a douche-maroo at times, but he was all right too.
He
could be
had
all right.
I remember growing up, I think they had a Great Dane, this massive dog in their backyard.
Yeah. He had I think he had a tennis court in his backyard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a rich family. I remember his dad, right? His dad, we would make fun of him for this endlessly, but every time he left, his dad would always be like, David, before you go. And then he'd have to kiss him. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah.
What the fuck, man? What's up with your dad?
Wait,
Yeah.
do they still live there? That's
I don't know. But yeah, nice. Okay, so cool. And then did you live there till you moved out, or was that your place? You lived there the whole time you were in North Wales?
Well, let's see. I lived there till middle school, and then I think I moved up right by North Penn High School, right by the high school.
Oh, cool, nice. All right, and you were still able to stay in touch?
Glendale.
Yeah.
Oh, Glendale. My dad
I'm
lived
gonna
in
keep
Glendale.
naming all the.
Yeah, that's where I lived. I lived there all through high school and everything.
Yeah.
But I spent so much time. So I went to North Wales Elementary. So that's how I met everyone. I met Brad in kindergarten and then and Crystal as well. And then I just spent the rest of my days in the borough. And my mom was like, "Where are you going?"
And you're 7th in church,
back here.
where all the action
Come
is.
back to this side.
Yeah. Stop hanging out
Solid
with those poor
impression.
kids.
Don't
Yeah.
paint my basement.
Nice. All right, cool. Very cool. So, all right, well, let's keep it moving. Mr. Coxman, when did you move to the North Willie?
Born and raised, baby.
Born and raised.
So, yeah. Born in Abington Hospital. I had the setup right on South 3rd Street, right in the borough.
Very cool.
Couple blocks from the pharmacy, which was like a local hotspot in the neighborhood, as well as Tony Pizza Hut.
Right. We've heard all about these places. I from what I've heard, everyone loved to steal from the news agency and the pharmacy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is Liam getting on this?
Liam's already been on this.
Liam's I mean like tonight.
No.
We have an intense pharmacy fight.
Yeah.
That transpired between us.
Oh, well, do tell, because then we can air it and then we can have a response to it later.
I've talked to him about it before.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that later when we have an
intense pharmacy fight.
When we move into our formative years. So, all right. So your brother said kind of the same thing. Sorry to keep talking about that asshole, but he said same thing. Born and raised in North Wales. Right.
That's right.
Went all the way through North Wales. Right. What? Okay. Yeah. So then would you be the one? Where were you hanging out then? Are you a 7th in church guy, 8th in church, or just every in church?
I was kind of a wanderer. So I would spend some time down on El Mav a lot.
Wow. Are you okay to say that? Because
what were you doing there, Brad?
Yeah, who are you hanging out with?
The most disgusting. This is the worst part of this is everything about it is humiliating. We were doing disgusting, terrible things.
I've heard at great length. Everybody on this show has discussed how they do not want to be associated with LMAV. That everyone that's lived there, there's I guess a person called Shit Tooth that lives there. There's
oh my god,
whole
that,
thing.
Brad? Who is that?
It's a lady. All I know is it's a lady.
Yeah,
oh my god.
From what Strong Sam said, it was a lady that he was not happy with. Did not like Shit Tooth. So, but Brad, okay, so I will say this. The first time I ever saw you, I don't even think we were properly introduced. I was hanging out on the porch of your house with a couple other guys, and you were in a phase where I believe you're wearing black tight jeans and had a black jacket and just long, luscious red locks. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Oh, wow. Looks like
the jeans got tight for a while there.
Oh, all right. Well, the Ginger Coxman started early. Very nice. So, very cool. The Ginger Coxman never stopped. You're right. All right. Very cool. So, let's keep it moving on. All righty. So, let's go back to Rachel with this. And Rachel, next question. What was your favorite thing about living and growing up in North Kakalaki, aka North Webby, aka Nutty Wubby, aka Schwab City?
Well, I was still going to St. Rose up until middle school.
What did you feel about the kids at St. Stan's?
Indifferent, really.
Really? Because I thought all the St. Rose kids can bury themselves and fucking die.
I didn't have too much back and forth with you. You know?
Yeah, we didn't think about the Lansdale kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the St. Stan's Fair.
It's always good. Rose Fair was fun too. I'll say
Facts.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love the Rose Fair.
Many fish to be won.
Oh, dude, did you have the A-Treat?
Many bags of fish.
You had the A-Treat ring game, right? The A-Treat soda ring game. Did you guys have that? Oh, was that not the best or what? You walk home with 3 big things of A-Treat soda. Oh.
If you were good at it, I was terrible at it.
I tried to walk home with beta fish.
Beta. You're a master beta there. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Nice. So you're growing up in North Wales. You're living at 7th and Church. Your mom is being yelled at for sleeping with a guy in high school, even though she's still a smoke show. You're going to Catholic school, right? So what is okay? So you're living this crazy life. Go ahead.
I was not really what they choose as a stellar student at St. Rose.
Right.
And I just got treated like shit there, by teachers and people alike. I had my one for like Michelle Forsey was like my best friend, and that's it ever.
Sure.
So then I moved to North Wales and met Crystal, and was like, I need to go to I'm going to public school now.
So you forced your mother into another decision.
Again.
Okay. And so when did you leave Catholic school? Did you have any male teachers in Catholic school, or was it all female?
There was only one ever. And I forget his name.
But did you have him as a teacher or no?
No, because he was like a 5th grade teacher or something at the time.
So so you left St. Rose in like 3rd, 4th grade and went
7th.
Oh, okay.
I made it up to 6.
Okay, so then 7th grade, then you would have gone to Pembroke then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then when you're at Pembroke, that's when you like got more associated with the crew, the gang, the hoodlums.
Yeah, real fast.
Real just
like nothing.
They sucked you right in. They knew the deal. They knew Girl Interrupted was your jam, and they're like, let's get this girl on the team. Nice.
But yeah, that's my favorite thing is all my friends that I made moving to that area. And like it truly changed my life drastically, like making the choice to leave Catholic school at that time, at that formative time.
Sure. That's a formative time in any young man's life for sure. So nice.
Thank you.
Quick question: did you go? Was there a girl named Lisa Marie Flaherty in your class?
What about her? She was best friends with my cousin.
I used to be.
And she dated my ex-boyfriend.
Alex?
No, Justin Monshine. Allie. Justin.
Oh God, I fucking slay myself. So no, her older brother Sean, me and him were like
I know him, yeah.
Me and him were like really good friends when we were younger, and then like we just kind of like didn't see each other and stopped being friends. And I was always like, wonder what happened to that kid. So that's why I brought her up. But either way, he's a fan of the show, listener to the show, so I'll talk to him one day. But either way, so your favorite thing about growing up in North Webby was all the beautiful relationships and friendships that you made with the young boys and girls of North Willington. Is that right?
And I got my first puppy.
Was that puppy killed by the dogs next door as well, or no?
No.
No, the neighbor's cat killed her dog. Let's have horrible luck with animals.
Yeah. What was the puppy's name?
Corey.
So Chubby and Corey.
Pudgy.
Pudgy. Good old Pudgy and Corey. All right.
Yeah.
And what kind of dog was Corey?
The most handsome chocolate lab.
All right. Very nice. Well,
can be argued if a Ziegler was here, but they're not.
So you know what?
We all know which chocolate lab had the boxier head.
Yeah, that's true. He's I guess. So I mean,
he's so cute.
Yeah, very cool.
Don't forget Mr. Winkerby. Lewis was a beautiful brown dog.
Mr. Winkerby. That's your dog.
Mr. Winkerby. Lewis, the brown dog. He was a wonderful dog.
Yeah. Well, glad to
your
hear.
Mom's?
Yeah.
Oh. Allie, do you know what he's talking about?
No, Brad.
No, he's making up dogs. He's making up dogs all the time.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, very cool. So your favorite thing was the friendships you made and still have to this day. Honestly, I would say that's kind of the same. I'm still friends with a lot of the guys I grew up with too. And like, did you find this like later in life, right? When you ran into like new people that you would meet, then you would say like, oh yeah, I've been friends with this person since I was like 5 or 6 or, whatever. And they like, I found that like a lot of people didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also now, there's so many like memes that are like, give it up if you've been friends with someone for more than 5 years. And I'm like, what is that bullshit? I've been the same friends for like 15 years.
Yeah. Or longer.
Yeah. There's nothing to be proud of for 5 years.
For sure. That's like really nothing. Nice.
Truly.
All right. Awesome. So very cool. Well, thank you for that. And then Allie, we're going to move to you. Are you cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Allie, we're going to move to you. Next question. What was your favorite thing about growing up in Nutty Wubby?
the penny candy. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No.
Get some Swedish fish at the pharmacy.
Oh,
Okay.
loved it. They had the watermelon Sour Patches there
Yeah.
too.
Hell yeah, they
did.
Love it.
A resounding hell yeah.
Yeah, nice. So Swedish fish. What else, Allie?
Absolutely the people.
Yeah.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
It is something that we've come to find out from the other roundtables that like it is like a very much a crew, right? That like everyone, like once you're in, you're kind of in. There are some people, like especially the Elm Avenue people, apparently, that are out, that they're not getting in. But if you're in, everyone's like cool and they look out for you. And like the old heads really had like a culture of like everyone hangs out and together and stuff. And you kind of keep tabs on everybody still, right?
Yes,
But
you'd much rather be in
yeah.
Yeah.
than out.
And then do you remember when and how you met Rachel?
Ooh.
Probably
Go
through
on.
Crystal. Through Crystal, I have a bad memory. If Crystal was on here, she would be making fun of me for it. But I think I met you through Crystal.
What,
I mean,
yeah.
we definitely met through Crystal. Do you
Right.
remember what a rocky start we had?
Yes, wait. Rachel would be better at this explaining this than
Yeah.
me, but we didn't like each other at first.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, whoever wants to take it away, please feel free. Rachel, if you would be so kind.
I don't know.
Discuss with your
I'm not
friend
sure.
how much you guys used to fight when you first met each other.
We didn't really fight. We were very
It was
just
like,
like
yeah.
Were you both
Who
like?
is,
Yeah, we're
who is
both
that? Ew.
Were you both like Crystal was like your guys' friend, and you wanted to be Crystal's better friend, kind of thing, and competing for her?
I don't feel like it was like competing, but I was. The vibes were off
Yeah.
to start, and then I think we both had we should have. Maybe I should have recommended Josh Du Bois to be on this, but
I've heard a lot about him. I've never met him, but apparently
we
he's,
probably what.
apparently he's like just like a crazy guy. Like something I heard something about him almost drowning in like an underground river, apparently, or something. I don't know. Steve told the story. But either way,
Checks
I
out.
interrupted you. Please keep going.
Yeah,
Um,
ladies, let me just clarify too. So you're talking about like this is like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah, it was 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ultra
right?
mean girls at this point.
6th,
Yeah.
7th.
But I mean, middle school is going to be a rocky
Yeah.
time for new
It
friends.
wasn't
You're gonna-
elementary school, Rach? I guess not, huh?
It would have been 6 or 7.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel it would have been 6, I think, because I feel like we were
You
friends.
were
by the
hanging
time-
around town before you like switched over before.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
by the time I went to Pembroke, like me and Allie were friends.
Okay.
So I think
I mean,
5th, 6th grade. It was 6th grade because I think we had both dated Josh for like a day and like didn't know each other.
Wow.
And I don't think it was like that close. I don't know, but it was.
You both
just
had
remember-
a shared heartbreak.
I came over to your house and I ate all of her chessman cookies. And
What are-
I heard that Allie had something to say about it.
Oh my
She's
God.
like, she came over and ate all my cookies.
What an
And I was like,
asshole.
and I'm like, yeah, bitch, I'll eat more.
I
What-
Keep them coming.
What?
Keep them coming, Star.
A chessman cookie?
Yeah, Pepperidge Farm, the chessman,
Don't know.
the butter cookies.
Oh, the ones that come in
like
the,
those,
the
like,
ones that
weird,
come
like-
in the tin?
It's the Pepperidge Farm, so it's not in a tin. I mean, they do come in a tin.
And then
actually.
it's like there's a pretzel one, and then there's
No.
like
I think you're thinking about those Christmas cookies, which
You're
is what
thinking
I
of
was thinking
Royal
about
Dance.
too. Those like
Royal-
blue tins. Royal Dance.
Not to be confused with Royal Dance, my other favorite butter
Yeah.
cookie.
and what is this cookie called? A
Chessman.
A chessman. All
Yeah.
right.
By Pepperidge Farm.
Okay, very cool. I guess I'll have to find out what it is later. Okay,
Yeah.
so you ate all her chessman cookies and told her to
First
go,
time I ever came
go-
over, ate all her
go,
cookies.
go shove and get some more. And then Allie said that this biatch ate all my cookies. And then
Yeah.
eventually you guys would get past that and share your both, like you would share your both broken heart after dating a guy for one day. and then you would grow together from that mutual heartbreak. Is that
The
kind
first
of...
time we were cool was at Skate 309.
Oh,
And it was
baby.
Hell
during
yeah.
it was it was an Eve song. And I don't know, we just started like skating next to each other and being like, this song.
Oh,
and then I was like, oh, she's not so bad.
Yeah, Eve, just bringing people together.
I'm like, who's this bitch always doing backflips all the time? Who's this bitch always doing front handspring in front of everyone all the time?
Were you, Allie, were you a gymnast or something?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Nice.
Miss Flips won, dude.
Miss Flips won? What the hell is that?
That's her screen name.
All right, let's do that real quick. Okay, so Miss Flips 1 was Allie. Rachel, what was your screen name? And for our I guess our Gen Z crowd that listens, we have a big Gen Z demographic. By screen name, we're talking about your AOL Instant Messenger screen name, which was the precursor to like Teams and Skype, which also was coincidentally the precursor to text, because before you could text, you could get AOL Instant Messenger on your phone and send messages that way. And then it just came to texting. So go ahead,
wild.
Rachel, your screen name, if you please.
Yes, Rach Test 88. Rach Test 88 was first.
Yeah.
But then followed by Satan's Peen.
Oh my
Satan's
God.
Peen?
Yeah, which I made as like a burner to like harass people.
Oh man.
I also, these are different times, and for entertainment's sake, I'm gonna mention the other one I made, which is maybe I shouldn't. It's bad.
It can always be.
You're in now.
It can always be edited.
I have Down syndrome.
That is not going anywhere.
That is not going anywhere.
Well, stamp it.
Could you remember could you imagine being on there just, oh, hi Sally, hi Gary, and then all of a sudden Satan's Peen just comes on and starts berating you.
Mm-hmm.
Satan's Peen, love it. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Satan's Peen. So what was the first one? Rach to the A.
Rach Test 88.
Rach Test 88. Then Satan's Peen. Then I have Down.
Rarklar is the main one, which people like still kind of call me.
Sure.
Today.
Right. We all know you. Old Rarklar. Okay. Nice. Very, very good. Very offensive, but very creative. Love it. And then
keep it out of pocket.
Right. And then Bradley. Your screen name's s'il vous plaît.
Well, my username ended up being the same one that people would randomly shout at me down the street, which was just Young Bradley.
Young Bradley.
That all the time. Someone just be riding around a bike or in a car, and I just hear, yo, Young Bradley. So that's what I went with.
Did you know who originated Young Bradley?
Probably Liam.
The best.
Liam, or maybe could have been Thomas.
Dude,
could have been Thomas.
Liam might be the best nickname guy that's like ever lived. Liam.
I mean, they all sound the same.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? Liam gave the best nicknames?
Yeah. Oh, Liam was great with the nicknames. His nickname for me, it used to be Lashmishma, then it was Lashmize, and now it's just Lashmish.
Liam does have a way with words.
He does.
Yeah, he has a good one for me. And
he used to call Trav. He used to call him Trav. That's what he would say for Trav, right? And then Tommy was Thomas, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Pretty much Thomas.
Yeah. He's always Thomas. And then I don't know. He had a bunch for everybody. But either way, okay. So Young Brad was your nickname, but then what was your offensively?
Young Bradley.
Young Bradley. I'm very sorry. Young Bradley was your nickname. What was your offensive screen name?
Young Bradley 5. Put a number on it.
Very nice.
No, I do not have anything to compete with.
Yeah. Was that your only
Bern booking of Instant Messenger?
Yeah.
I mean, that I remember.
I do.
Yeah. Nice. And then Bern, did you have a screen name for AOL Instant Messenger?
No, not really. I'm like 106, but I will say I'm going to use this podcast to make sense.
Easy.
If I ever make a hardcore album, I'm definitely calling it Satan's Peen. So I have most of my genres covered. Yeah,
Satan's Peen
rocks.
sounds like a great name for a band too, right?
Well, I had it for so long. I like meant to only use it
for eyes.
That's our band. That's
Your
our
band.
Wait, what's your band?
X is for eyes. Me and Allie and and some of those who are out with us right now.
And you still have Satan's Peen.
But yeah, so I had it for longer than intended because it was supposed to be like a
burner.
secret. Yeah. And then I just it wound up being like my normal screen name kind of. And then my mom walked by once and she was like, oh, that's crazy. What is that? And then she was like, you? She's like, this is your screen name?
She's
and
like Satan's
sent me to therapy.
Yeah. She's like, Satan's Peen, is that neighbor? Yeah. So real nice. All right, so I'll round it out. I had 2 screen names. The first one was Word, and it was 5 zeros. So W 5 zeros RD, Word. And then the second one was Shantae Jackson.
Oh.
Very
cool.
Loved Shantae Jackson. He was named after the little person in the movie Me, Myself, and Irene. So there you go.
Oh, was that guy's name?
That was his
character. And Bad Santa, right?
Yeah, that was his character's name in Me, Myself, and Irene. I don't know his real name.
Brad, big fan.
The guy's popping up in all the good ones. That's great.
Fan of the show.
Jim Carrey. Yeah, Jim Carrey, also a big fan of the show.
Listener to the show.
Yeah,
if you're watching right now, and we know you are.
Rachel went through a big phase of you for a while.
What was that, Allie?
I think I also had Tom D Blinked Me because I love Blink-182.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was a good one.
Super cool.
Tom D Blink Me.
Tom D blinked me, past tense.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
She got blinked by your boy.
Flipping and blinking all over the place.
Yeah.
Story of Allie's life. Very cool.
Nice flips.
So, all right. So, Brad, let's move the question to you. What was your favorite thing about growing up in North Wales?
I mean, looking back, the fact that it was complete madness, but it was all that latchkey kid growing up. So it's like basically when you get home, you kind of wander around and try to find some trouble, but not too much. But it was definitely like a good foot traffic town where you can you can hoof it and get away with pretty much a bike and you're fine. If you have a bike, you're golden.
Yeah.
And little stuff like running down to what's it called? We just called it like the Castle Park Place.
Oh yeah, Parkside.
Right by the Norway Pool, having that Parkside.
Loved Parkside. We would ride from Lansdale to Parkside. Dude,
I mean, once that was kicking in, like that was somewhere to be all the time. Manhunt during the summer, and then when you get older, it's like drugs there. So
yeah.
Fantastic memories.
Dude, how
everything you need.
Yeah.
Womping.
Oh,
Womp was more North Wales.
Womping around.
That we play at elementary school all the time. That was the greatest game ever.
Oh, dude, I wonder if there's a professional Womp league.
Would love.
I know, there's a lot of people who'd be banned for cheating though.
No.
I never saw a single person like blind off the side of it. I'm like, come on. Someone had to fall off that thing once.
Yeah.
Just running with our eyes shut.
Oh yeah. I would always
climbing.
Yeah. No, that was asking for trouble.
That was the most fun.
Yeah, Womp was great. I'll tell you what, I miss that so much. Like in the summer, you wake up, you get on your bike, you check all the hot spots like the pool and the park and the house, and like you're just riding around and then like go to the woods or whatever and just have an adventure. Every day was just like, it was the best, man. The best, right?
And
loved it.
Truly never knew. I mean, I never knew what I was going to run into, whether it's hopping in on someone playing a game of sports or whatever, or going down the street and seeing the dirty kids with like matches and being like, well,
let's light a
what
cat
happens
on
here. I kind of want to see what happens here too. So it was every day was an adventure.
That's awesome, man. Good. Glad that that's honestly, I do feel bad kind of way for the kids today that they don't get to experience that. You know what I mean? Like that was one of the best.
Yeah, I don't know what it would look like.
When's the last time you saw like a bike gang of kids? Does that even exist anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I still see some hoodlums around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just make sure I yell at them and honk.
I see them in the city all the time, but it's different because they're all like crack mules or whatever the fuck they are, you know?
Yeah.
Totally.
Every kid you see on a bike in the city is just holding tons of crack.
Yeah,
I think that's our second timestamp. Make a mark on that one.
You got it, buddy. You got it. Nice.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah, of course. We all know the timestamp of the crack mule. Of course. Nice. Okay, so very cool. So your favorite thing was just going out, having some adventures and doing some damage and causing some trouble and your mom, you know, maybe finding out later. All righty. So
yeah, she did eventually.
Yeah. So let's keep it moving. So Rachel, aka Sausage, we're going back to you. What was your least favorite thing about growing up in Nubby Wubby? And I will say this. So on the previous Ndub Roundtables, Part 1, Ndub Roundtable Part 2, which will be available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast, they had mentioned, and be it all, they were all male panels, that their least favorite thing about growing up in North Wales is that the lack of females available.
Oh.
Right. They really, really didn't like that it was like 8-to-1 males to females. Right. So
yeah.
That being said,
well, they could have been nicer.
Yeah. Goes without saying. But if they were nicer, then you would have just shit all over them because that's what women do to nice guys, right?
Well, at a certain point in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so Rachel, yeah, what was your least favorite thing about growing up in North Willie?
I guess there were certain things that I felt like eventually in life, like there's no way that everybody's not in your business. Yeah, I guess I didn't like being bullied by older boys, but it also like, you know, now as you grow up, it's like out of love or whatever.
Right, sure.
You realize, I hope.
Right. You realize they were just lighting your house on fire because they had a crush on you, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
or
they do now.
Or at the very least, you know, like, you know, young dudes don't know how to show affection. All they know how to do is break their buddies' balls, and if their buddies can hang, then they're friends. So I feel like there's kind of a weird, rude indoctrination if you want to be like the girl who hangs around with the guys. They're like, all right, we're going to be real mean to you.
Me and Crystal and Allie were just like surrounded by like funny, mean dudes.
And Rachel, we haven't known each other long, but I get the impression that you're someone that could give it back just as good as you got it.
Oh, I would say so.
And that's why
professional by now.
We're all secretly in love with you, or maybe not so secretly.
Yeah. Very cool. So okay. So back to you, Rachel. What was the least favorite thing about North Wales besides like all the boys that had crushes on you that would kill your pets?
That was a female neighbor.
Okay, maybe she had a crush on you. Come on, it's 2021.
Maybe.
Open mind. Come on, Rachel.
Let's see. No, I feel like that, but like the feeling
boys
like
being
you don't
dicks.
have like privacy.
Oh,
like because everybody knows everything, and not like even about like my home life and everything. I feel
so like as much as the North Wales guys try to act tough, it's really like they're just a big sorority, just spreading gossip everywhere. Is that kind of?
I think so. I mean, I don't mean them about like the business, like privacy, like in general.
It's everybody knows everybody's business. It's like
piggybacking off of circling back to, you know, like the neighbor who was interrupting my girl interrupted.
Right.
Like shit like that. Like, you kook, why are you hovering outside my door waiting to yell at like a bunch of 11-year-olds? I don't know. Stuff like that.
Yeah. No, understandably so, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the gift that's a gift in the curse with a tight-knit community. You know what I mean? Like, it's real cool when you need something, and it really sucks when you're like, can everybody just leave me alone while I figure out my shit? Like,
exactly.
I'm gonna have everybody just get off my back for a couple of years and I'll get it figured out. Like,
and just like, I don't know, 8th and Church, like the Ziegler like was kind of a main
the spot.
Yeah, that like everybody would like to talk about, and then I would get like pissed off if somebody talked about that in a way I didn't. I remember I got like kind of arrested once, and the police kept being like, yeah, well, we got the Zieglers down there, and I like had to like stop myself from being like and like get even more arrested.
Wow.
Because, needed to defend my people.
I told a story on a previous roundtable where I witnessed that firsthand, where I saw a member of the Ziegler family get arrested, and the cops legit said, like, guess what this one's last name is? And the other cop was like, Ziegler. And they were like,
okay. That, you know what? Back to the question. I fucking hate the police in North Wales.
Woo!
Always.
Wow.
Everything about them, like everything they've ever done is so like everything you think of
like
when
bad.
you think of like somebody getting a D+ and becoming a cop. They're all in North Wales, and that's what they do. And like, you know, God forbid I like make out with my boyfriend in a side parking lot, and this angry man is like banging on the door, being like, you got it. Like, who does that, you psychopath?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I do hate the police in North Wales.
Wow.
At least in our time.
Yeah, I'm sure Alex is really upset about that. So, nice. Okay.
Well, I mean, there was a legit time.
I had more boyfriends than Alex.
All right.
There was a time when Officer Hackett would just like pretty much take like the same patrol route around Nick DeVoe's house and just be like, yo, you got weed on you today? And we're like, no. He's like,
no, dude.
You want to prove it? It's like, all right, we got a little bit. Like, all right, well, I'm going to take this. I'm not going to write you up this time, but you guys should probably stop that. And then like 4 days later, same time, he's rolling up like,
I'm out of weed, guys.
Yeah, he ran out.
Yeah, you guys got any, you guys ain't out here smoking, are you?
I need to re-up.
Damn. So wait,
the neighborhood kids.
And they're big. I guess
this is our dare officer, by the way.
Yeah, our dare officer who would be seen outside Wawa ripping cigs.
to be fair, right? And I'm not saying that all my dealings with the Ndub police haven't been great as well. But I haven't had a ton. I've only had a few, but they weren't great. But they did have their hands full, we'll say. With
full of what? Boring shit.
Weed.
A bunch of stuff that didn't happen.
Just establish that.
I will say this, that there was a story told on a previous roundtable where certain members of the Ndub community rerouted traffic, like there were traffic pylons, so that cars would go directly into like a 4-foot hole into the ground. Right?
Amazing.
Right. I thought so as well. But if you're the cop that has to deal with like cars riding, being stuck in a hole in the ground because some hoodlum kids redirected the pylons, right?
You might want to get high after.
Right.
Yeah.
I could understand why they're jerks. I mean, the ones I dealt with were they weren't the best. But yeah. So your worst thing that you hated the most about growing up in North Wales was the harassment by the popo.
Fuck the police.
All right. So very cool. So let's keep it moving. Young Brad Lay, same question to you. What was your least favorite thing about growing up in North Kakalaka?
It's sort of a piggyback on what Rachel's talking about, but with the whole idea, the whole idea of it essentially. Oh,
that was so good.
Chased her out.
That was so good. That was so good. Fucking home run there, Benoit. Fucking home run, baby.
Singles, baby, singles all day.
Piggyback. So good. All right. So, okay, Brad, sorry, I interrupted you. So to piggyback off of what Sausage said, what do we got here?
So there's something to the time that we grew up and the neighborhood that we went in. And like, as far as I could tell, I never really saw anyone's parents ever. Also leads to like this complete Lord of the Flies mentality in that town, which if we're going to go right back to what Allie said at the beginning, it is way better to be on the in than the out. And I've had plenty of situations that were, I guess, temporary on the outside, or I was just the wrong goofy looking kid at the wrong time, and it was a nightmare. There was some terrible stuff.
Brad.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. One in specific, which was particularly scarring, and I'm positive previous Ndub Roundtable guests were a part of this. I'm sure if they were in it.
Oh god.
This would have been up in the 7th and Church Street area. I was probably farting around Rachel's house like, what are you doing today? Yeah, I'm bored. And she'd be like, I'm just going to instant message people for hours. She was the worst for hours. You just sit on the computer and text them like, yeah, like, let's go do something. Anyway, so I'm roaming the streets there, and I find myself, I was a pleasantly plump young man, nice little fat boy for sure, and right in the middle of the street, dude, right in the middle of the street, it's like 6 of them on bikes appear in the middle of the street, and I'm in the middle of the road, and I just start getting circled. Like literally, like I'm like open chum in shark-infested waters.
Oh,
Just
no.
like are circling me, and they're going, tits, 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 tits.
No.
Allie, were you there for that?
Horrible. I'm like,
It was
oh
me,
my
Jamie,
God.
and Crystal. Why were we there for the whole thing? I'm sorry.
I'm sure. I mean, I would.
Wait, why did they want to see his tits? You know, like they were.
I think it was more just commenting on the cup size.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
So wait, Brad, you were by yourself.
No,
right?
he was with me.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay,
It
so
was me, you, Crystal, and was Nick? There was another boy with us, I feel.
Okay,
I don't remember
you're-
that specifically.
Okay,
I
so
remember
but either
it
way, your group.
Yeah, no shit.
So it was definitely Brad, Rachel, and Crystal. You're riding your bikes down the road. Then all of a sudden, 6 sharks come out of nowhere and start
It's
circling you.
Tommy, and the Trumbauers.
Oh, shout
my
out, shout out.
God.
Shout out. So these 6 guys, or is it 4 or was there more guys?
It was
I don't remember.
I don't know if it was Stephen and John, but it was
One of them.
I'm pretty sure John was for sure.
Always big fan of John. Shout out. I like John.
Yep.
But either way, But either way, John didn't talk a lot either. So if he's circling
when
you,
he did.
circling you, he's chanting tits.
Rude.
Honestly, I would piss myself to see John just in the circle and was like, tits. Tits.
It was more than that. They were pretty rough.
Yeah.
okay.
Our little Brad here.
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, buddy.
It got to a point of if you don't mind, tears.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Cried all the time in that neighborhood. Are you kidding
he had
me?
to mow
Dude,
Fuck
kids are the fucking meanest, man. I've been like, everyone's been especially I
They
had
did
an
it
older
to me
brother.
too.
Oh,
Not about
Brad,
tits,
did
but
you say you cried?
I said Brad
Absolutely.
cried.
oh, dude, I would get
sure.
destroyed,
Thank you.
beat the hell up by, like, did you ever get pink bellies? Do you know what a pink belly is?
I mean, just my brother himself would torture me enough.
Yeah, fucking.
He used to do this thing. He'd tackle me down and put his knees on my shoulder. So they're pinned in here and his legs are sitting on my arms.
Yeah.
So now I'm on my back and I've got nothing to do like this, but he has both his hands open. He's got his knees pressed on my shoulders and he would just go.
Justin would do that?
Oh my God. He was a monster. Do not let him fool you.
Justin would do that?
He's grown up
Really?
into a fine young man.
Wow. Man, I mean,
I got it back a few times. It's all good.
Don't get it twisted. I used to beat my little brother's ass so much that his ears would bleed because he fucking asked for it. All right. Every fucking time. That smart little shit.
I could see that.
Yeah, the smart mouth little fuck. But
he doesn't stop.
No, he's the biggest douche-a-maroo going at times. But either way.
Shout out Alex. Love you.
Wait, but that wasn't Alex. What was his alter ego named?
Oh.
What was Alex's alter ego? We learned it on the Alex pod.
Oh, are you asking me?
Oh, or Matt. Matt can jump in as well.
I know it, but
Xander?
Xander.
Xander. Evil Xander? That was just Xander, man.
Yeah,
that wasn't Alex.
Xander. For those that don't remember, so in the archives, the Working Perspectives podcast, available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives podcast, we had a 4-part series. We called it The Month of Alex, where it was 2 episodes broken into 2 parts, which made 4 episodes, right? Really tough month to get through. But in the month of Alex, which they were all like really good. It was like
stellar work.
Thank you, Sausage. Speaking of tears, a lot of tears in those episodes. But he told a story where Xander came to the table and one day was dissed by me on his way to school. So he brought a wrench and he took the bolts off the tires to my bike, so that when I would ride home, the tires of my bike would come off and I would be up shit ski. But he got caught and I ended up not dying. But yeah.
That's some vindictive shit.
That's such an Alex move. That's so in his wheelhouse.
And he got nailed because he was walking around with a pocket full of bolts and like a monkey wrench. And his teacher was like, "Why are you in 3rd grade? Why do you have a monkey wrench in your pocket?" Like, that's
3rd grade. Yeah, in 3rd grade, attempted manslaughter in 3rd grade.
He's trying to kill my brother. Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the first or the last.
Tom stole his socks, and then you got the pegs to school. Yeah, it was a total Manson scenario.
Yep.
For Xander.
Right. And that story is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. So yeah, the bullies in dude. The worst is if you have an older brother, because there's no bigger bully than your older brother, I will say, in my experience at least, right? Like I remember,
the exact same.
Yeah, I remember being
but also, I get the point of view of like the way you talk about Alex on some of that stuff. I'm like, I know I was exactly that person. To Justin.
Alex was definitely asking for it, and honestly, I really if I didn't have I wasn't seeking out torturing him, right? But he's just such a little shit that he had he had to
Alex really knows
he knows how to push buttons.
Yep,
for sure.
Push them all the way in.
Just for all the older siblings out there though, I let me just speak up for a second. I think what you do is you're trying to find your way in the hierarchy, right? So you shoot up, right? You bitch up. So as the oldest, it was my job to fuck with my parents. It was my brother Mike's job to fuck with me, and it was my youngest brother Polatsky's job to fuck with Mike. You're always trying to get to that next level. So you're I don't want to punch down, but I'm going to try to agitate these people ahead of me as much as possible. In my case, the oldest was my parents, but for my brothers, it was
right.
In that case, shit runs uphill.
Yeah. Big time.
Not in my house, not in my experience, but I appreciate a different perspective.
Right. I mean,
the went from the top all the way down.
Well, most things, right? But if there was one person you had to agitate, you're like, who's the next closest sibling who's older than me? I'm going to start there.
Yeah.
Also, I have another circle back on that note.
What? Go ahead. Circle back. So
like how I said, one of the things I didn't like was being made fun of by boys or whatever.
Right.
On the flop of that, I did feel as an only child that those were my brothers, and if I needed to threaten someone, I'd be like, oh, I'm friends with them, and I'll fucking tell them to kick your ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had that.
They were good to have on your side.
Yeah.
And do you think they would have done that? You really think? And you're talking
Absolutely.
about like
Absolute, not a question.
But that is true sibling mentality. Like, no,
Yeah.
I can fuck with my brothers, but if anybody else does, we're
Yeah.
going to war.
Yeah. Also, having
know?
I did like grow up in like the Ziegler house, like
Yeah.
yeah. So
Ziegler's fans of the show.
make
Listen
fun
to
of
the
me all
show.
you want, guys.
So nice. Okay. So then let's keep it going. So, all right. So Brad, your kind of worst thing was like, the kids being dicks kind of stuff and everything like that.
It's more or less like the lawless nature of the borough.
Yeah.
The same way you didn't know what kind of adventure you could find in every day. You didn't know what kind of terror was around the corner too. That kept you on your toes.
And there was no one coming to save you because the parents weren't there.
No.
Your odds of being in the wrong place at
Never.
the wrong time are high.
Yeah.
Super high.
Yeah. Nice.
Do you remember when my mom was going to like business school and I would just have everyone over when she was gone to watch Kids?
Oh
the movie.
Yeah.
The movie Kids?
Yeah. And one day she just came home to like 10 of us and she's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "We're watching this horrifying film."
We're watching the first
We're watching something about
NC-17 rated movie in the United States
I don't think I've
release history.
I don't think I've ever seen the movie Kids.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
that
too old.
checks
You're
out,
too old.
but
You're too old now.
It's not cool for children.
If you're watching it as a high schooler, it's got a bunch of bad messages. But then if you're watching it as the father of a daughter, Matt, I would say skip Kids.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You made it this far. You don't need to watch it now.
Yeah.
You don't need to watch it now.
Nice. Okay. So very cool. Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving. So very cool. Allie, next question to you is the same question. What was your least favorite thing about growing up in North Wales?
I feel like I'm just being lame and piggybacking off everything that was already said. But like, it was good to be a part of that crew. But if it was like the wrong day and they were going to tease you, it wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
I think there's a common experience here, which goes straight into what we're doing here, which is, what are you calling it? The younger generation of Ndub?
Next generation. Ndub, the next generation.
Yeah, you've been dealing with the older generation.
Yeah.
And now you're talking to all the picked on kids.
It's on to the scraps.
Yeah.
But I will say, speaking of what you guys are talking about, here's a perfect example. Strong Stem Steve Cabot, aka Cabot Cheese, told a story about how him and a friend of his had built a potato cannon, right, or a spud gun, as some people call it, and
Rachel's well aware.
They're hanging out at a field, right, and they're shooting off the potato cannon, and Cabot's friend loads it up, and there was a younger kid with them who was like a couple years younger, and the kid just takes off because he knows like this next one's coming at me. And like from like 40 yards out, Cabot's friend nailed this kid in the head with a potato gun. Yeah. Right. Like,
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Like and it was just because he was the younger kid. Right?
It's just because he was around that day.
Exactly.
I got this big ass potato gun. I'm going to shoot somebody.
He's thinking like, oh, I'm hanging out with the older guys. They got a potato gun. This is great. And then all of a sudden his good day is ruined.
Fucked up.
Yeah. So, Rachel, did you have an experience with the potato gun?
I think it was whose yard? I was in the Reese's yard.
Okay, Liam Reese, fan of the show, listener of the show, former guest of the show. Okay, so your friend was his little sister.
Jamie first, yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was Bo and Tommy just kept shooting us with little potato pieces, or like I like don't even get what a potato like I do, I guess, but
right.
Like you're just chilling, getting berated by these little pebble feeling things, and then I just kept seeing like snickering boys over the fence, but it was before I knew either of them.
Wow,
that was it. But they did it all the time.
They would just, but like, did you hear like the cannon go off, or just all of a sudden you're just like a shower of potatoes?
Like, is there one that can do small pieces? Or am I thinking of
a BB gun?
Well, once I woke up in bed surrounded by BBs. That's another thing. Once I woke up in Crystal's bed, surrounded by a plethora of BBs. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
They're just throwing them at me in my sleep.
So, but yeah, so no, the potato gun usually shoots
Like
the
a whole
whole
potato? That's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Could you imagine
Who
being hit?
invented this
you
insane
imagine-
thing?
Could you imagine being hit in the head with one of those?
Yeah.
It's able to shoot 40 yards. That thing's coming at you.
That's what I mean.
a
Like,
decent
why did
clip
anybody
there.
even have this? That's insane. That's like
Oh, they're
warfare.
awesome.
For that exact purpose of shooting the smallest person in the neighborhood.
They're awesome though. Okay, cool. So, all right. So, Allie, yeah, what was your least favorite thing about growing up in North Wales?
The same.
Being
Yeah.
teased, the cops.
Yeah, kind of being on like the outskirts and kind of being shit on by not only the police but the older kids in a way.
Some of the older Ndubbers were kind of intimidating.
Oh, really?
I
Like-
thought so anyway.
Like, yeah, they could be.
of
They could
course.
be.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially if they're
be.
like if they're 5 years older than you, but
I'm
only
not
a
gonna
grade
mention
above
the
you.
things we
Yeah.
went through sometimes.
You're about
Like,
to walk into a party. You don't know if it's going to be great or if someone's going to be
or
super
we're all
rude at
getting
any
arrested.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Nice. Okay. All right. So moving on, we're gonna ask the next question. I'm gonna kick it back to you, Sausage. So we've asked this on the show before, got some great results when we did the previous end of roundtables. But do you have, or were you a part of, or have you done any pranks in the North Wales area, region, time, whatever?
Okay. So I was dating a man named Boner.
Okay.
It was one of my first boyfriends in what, 7th grade or 8th grade.
Good.
And
Good.
he was very like distant to me always.
Right.
And I was very blatantly obsessed with him.
Sure.
And like I had like his giant picture in my locker. Do you remember that, Allie?
Wow. Did
Like,
you print
his-
it out
his
on a
8 by
printer?
10.
Oh,
I think he
okay.
gave it to, or I might have printed it out actually.
Oh, wow.
I go
Very cool.
hard on the romance.
Sure.
Satan's peen found that, dig it
Yeah.
around, and put it right in the locker.
Satan's
Hung
peen.
it up. And
If you were Satan's peen, he really would have loved you.
okay, so the thing, and I wish it was more of like a prank and less mean, but it wasn't. It was his best friend that like
Okay.
hated me for like taking up phone time with him or
Sure,
something, because that's
sure.
really all I got out of this relationship.
Right.
But
In
he would make
7th
fun
grade,
of
you're
me.
looking for a lot more, intimate fulfillment. Sure.
Yeah, I
Right.
needed a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So
But whatever. So I was obsessed. I was blatantly obsessed with my boyfriend. Everybody
it.
knew it. I
Sure.
got like made fun of about
Right.
it.
Yep.
Tom Green, who, if you're listening, and we know you are, just kidding. But
Tom Green, like the,
No,
the
no, no.
comedian?
no,
Oh.
We
like
are-
someone in our grade.
Oh, the best
Who-
friend was named Tom Green?
Yeah,
Okay.
who I've since grown to love after this experience because he knew not to fucking mess.
Right.
But he was kind of a hairy guy. Kind of had a sweater of hair on his body, and
Right.
that's the
Careful,
first thing I.
careful,
What?
Rachel.
It's the first
We
thing
got
I
it.
could think of to make fun of him, and he made fun of me all the time. He like called me. I don't want to relive the things he called me, but they were like about my looks, and they
Right.
were evil.
Not, yeah.
And I found all these like Claire's at the mall.
Claire's.
Like
Yeah, get
the-
your ear pierced, get
Yeah.
your teeth bracelets.
Okay. Okay.
and at the time, a bunch of scrunchies made of fake hair that were on sale for $1 or so. And I was just like, oh, should I just get a shit ton of these and fill his locker with all of these scrunchies with an evil sign, which I did. And so many. It had to have been like 20 of them, and they're all like insane hairs and like colors. And it wrote like, kind of like looking into a mirror, isn't it? I know that sounds lame. And me and Allie were out sick that week. Like, remember Allie when we were both watching Tommy Boy for 2 weeks and not going to school. So I missed it, but apparently the day was extremely traumatic for him. Like, I got like messages from everybody being like, he's like miserable. The scrunchies are all over Pembroke. some girl we like know was wearing one in her hair. Like, they're littered all over the school.
My God.
There's no escape. There's no escape.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, after that, I really, the pecking order was changed about who was being made fun of.
So,
it wasn't me.
Okay. So just to recap this legendary prank.
Sorry, it's not that good.
No, it's great. You're dating a guy, right? You're not being fulfilled intimately, but it's not for lack of trying on your end. Right.
Well, no, I just like loved him and got like made fun of.
Yeah, or emotionally, it sounds like, too.
Yeah.
Like there's just, you're putting it all out there in the world. You get a big picture in the locker. All you want is a little, hand holding in the hallway or something.
Yeah.
Let everybody know.
The person who loves more in a relationship is always the one that's being hurt. You know what I mean? So
always me.
That's always apparently it's always you. So
it's just always me.
Nice. But either way, so you're dating this guy. He has a best friend who apparently has a sweater. Now, I will say this: I am a card-carrying member of the sweater team.
As soon as I started talking about it, I thought of you. Don't be offended.
I'm not, and I'm proud to have one. I mean,
that's why he's buttoned all the way to the
top. I mean, it's
my second layer.
It's a lot. So either way. The guy,
Alex.
the seventh grade guy, Alex has nothing on me. He doesn't even have shoulder hair. I don't even want to fucking hear it.
I mean,
I am legit fucking covered in hair. All right, it's like a fucking fur on me. So I don't want to be compared to anybody unless it's goddamn Chewbacca. All right,
understood.
Okay. So either way, this kid's in seventh grade and has a lot of body hair. That's tough.
Which I didn't know he was actually sensitive about it.
You 100% did know.
Yeah, you had to be. You had to assume. I mean, you wouldn't have put $27 worth of scrunchies in his locker if you didn't think it was going to move the needle.
You smelled blood and went to Claire's.
I did kind of think it was like lame, but then when I heard the results, I was like, oh shit.
So
really.
So
you
have your boyfriend, right? Your boyfriend has a best friend. You and the boyfriend's best friend, who is a male, who did not get along because you were taking away telephone time from him and his best buddy, right?
Yeah.
And you guys would argue and make fun of each other a lot, and it was really because you were competing.
I wouldn't do any. He was like talking a lot about me, like bad, all the time, and I would hear it. I wouldn't do much back.
You didn't respond at all.
Not really. I mean, me and Allie are notoriously mean face in the hallways. Like we were good at that, but like this was my big.
So
you
kind of revenge serves cold in a way.
Yeah.
So you've been feeling this heat from this guy for all this time, and all you're trying to do is be a good obsessive girlfriend, right? Yep. So you finally said, "I had enough." You went to Claire's. Shout out Claire's, fan of the show, listener to the show. You go there, you see that, that this kid has hair all over his torso in seventh grade.
Over his everything.
Rough situation, covered in hair, right? So he's sensitive about it. So you go to Claire's, you see that they have fake hair scrunchies. Is that a thing? So you said, they're $1, they're on sale. I got $27. I know what I'm going to do. You bought 27 fake hair scrunchies.
I mean, I don't know the number. I know it was a lot.
We're saying it's 27.
Yeah. It's probably around there.
So we're saying 27, right? The person at the checkout counter at Claire's thought that you were a psycho, right? You then sneak into school when did you place the hair into the locker? Was it
end
of day? What's going
end
down?
of day.
Okay, so you knew like he's not going to see this until
I know
tomorrow.
your boy's at lacrosse or some shit right now.
You had the combo.
No, I know how to pop a locker.
There you go. That's my girl.
Wow.
I pop lockers and I take pencils.
Popping locks, taking pencils, dating closeted guys. Very cool.
Yes.
So,
Very cool.
You pop the locker. You shove the 27 scrunchies. Now, was this a 2 locker, like a top and a bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did both.
So you packed both full of scrunchies. We're way more than 27 here then.
Well, it wasn't like it wasn't like loaded, but like.
But it was enough that it fell out when it opened.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know they fell out.
Then
All you need is for them to fall out. It doesn't matter how many's in there. All you need is for the opening, and then they fall out, and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" And everybody goes, "Dude, look what's in that dude's locker," and then school just takes over.
Yeah.
You know.
So like,
and I wasn't there that day, which is another like amazing part of it.
My God.
He couldn't like fight me back because I was just like out sick.
Yeah. Do you remember the kind of mean things he would say to you? If you don't want to relive it, it's fine. But what would he say?
It's like I'm still traumatized from it.
Okay, then we won't have to.
I will
have to talk about
like
it.
so
No.
you know how mean it is. But I don't want you to agree.
No, if you don't, Rachel.
I don't want you to start calling me Shrek.
Look, sausage.
I just said it.
Shrek. Why Shrek?
Don't ask me.
Like Fiona in Shrek?
Not like Shrek original.
See, it's a bad insult. It's a bad insult. If you're trying to insult a girl in middle school, you call her Fiona because at least it's gender accurate. And I don't know if gender accurate matters in 2021, but it certainly did in the mid to early 2000s.
Well,
and by the way, like I don't look like that.
Right. No, Rachel.
I feel like right now,
Rachel,
don't.
Look,
also.
Look, I know that like I've known you for a while and that you turned my little brother gay and this whole thing, but it wasn't your looks. You're a very beautiful woman. I think we all can agree that you do not look like Shrek. All right.
Thank you. Finally, the validation.
Now, if he would have said The Nightmare Before Christmas, then we all would have been on board. But it's just,
including me.
Right.
Including myself.
Yeah. No, Rachel, stop. You're beautiful. Don't even, my stepdad thinks you're just the bee's knees. So there you go. Don't you know?
We all know.
Yeah.
How much Don appreciates me.
That's
all he can talk about at any event.
Yep. Big fan of the sausage. So, okay. So let's keep it going. All right. So your legendary prank, you literally, I guarantee this guy, and he's a fan of the show, listener to the show. So when he hears this, please comment to let everyone know that I'm right, that this guy has got LASIK laser hair removal surgery on his body. And it was because of you, Rachel. So just know you've traumatized.
I'm surprised, honestly. Allie, what do you think?
You traumatized him.
We both became very good friends with him. After this.
Because he was dealing with the trauma. And I think he's probably still planning something. So I would look out.
No, he was on when I was still taking photos regularly.
Is he gay,
the guy? He made one his background wallpaper. No.
Okay.
I think he had a baby recently, maybe.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Gay guys can have babies too, you bigot.
Yeah. That wasn't what I was trying to say.
Apologies.
Just kidding. Okay. So very cool. So the scrunchy prank heard around the world. You shoved them full of lockers. This poor kid, laser hair removal surgery. It's been a whole lifetime. So nice. Very cool. Great story. Thanks for sharing that. And let's all agree that you do not look like Shrek. All right. I think we're all in agreements here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Poor Fiona.
Poor Fiona. Maybe the donkey, but
I would take that.
I'm kidding.
I would take Eddie Murphy.
You don't look like any of them. All right.
Donkey was the heart and soul of that franchise. Let's not forget
the whole thing. Yeah. So, okay. So let's keep it moving. So next question, we'll throw it to you, Allie. Did you ever pull, or were you ever a part of, or did you ever have any legendary pranks going on in North Wales?
I don't think so. I mean, I always skipped class, if that's considered a prank.
That's just considered a good time, Allie. That's a good.
That's just a prank on your own education.
like every day. It was a bit much.
Oh yeah, same.
I did for the amount of times I got in trouble for it, compared to how many times I did it. I think it was pretty well done. Pretty well.
Allie
Totally
was definitely king at skipping.
Did you ever you didn't have to get held back or anything, did you?
No, I went to Saturday school a lot.
Same.
But I also skipped lunch and got fresh pizza across the street like every day. So
nice.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a pretty fair
I had to
trade-off.
go to summer school because me and Allie passed notes all semester,
You-
and she grazed by 1 point, and I got the D, and I had to go to summer school.
Oh man.
I still have our notes. They're very
Wait a minute,
good.
wait a minute,
They're
wait a
very
minute.
funny.
Hold on, Rachel. So are you telling us right now that you're a North Wales cop?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm working on it.
fucking grand salami tonight, Benoit.
To circle back.
Yeah.
Now I'm a cop.
Just fucking nailing it. Sausage. Yeah. Also, for those listening, Sausage, you don't have to raise your hand. Just an FYI. Okay. So, all right. Well, yeah.
Allie, though, is it crazy to say, like, I feel like teachers always really liked you. So, like, little shit that, like, the book would get thrown at other people, I felt like you would kind of slide under the cracks a lot better than some of us other bolder personalities.
Right.
maybe I think it depended on the teacher, but most of the time it was pretty okay.
Oh, very
Yeah, I feel like a lot. I just remember being like, "What the fuck?" Like there was like, I felt like Allie would get away with shit, and I'd always be in the hallway during like elementary school. Like, God damn. I don't know.
All right. No, I mean, hey, man, if you got it, you got it. You know, I myself was not, I wasn't getting away with anything.
No.
Not everybody loves Old Uncle Matty. Tell you that right now. So nice. Okay. So I'm interested in hoping that we get something good from you. But Brad, same question. Do you have anything, or have you ever, or a prank? Anything going there, bud?
If you consider mild arson a prank, could be onto something there.
I consider it a great hobby. Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I do.
Right. So
Go on.
Yeah, please.
So me and my brother buddy really pulled one over on the North Wales Water Authority this one time.
They had it coming. Everyone knows they had it coming.
Nearly roasting it to the ground. So
the NWWA.
So this is kind of a series of mistakes that you don't want to make in North Wales. So I had a balcony right outside my bedroom window. I can just bust the window open, climb onto the roof, shimmy down the deck, and then run off into the night. So the first
dream
mistake
scenario.
to make, it was pretty good. The window, yeah. So first mistake was going out at like 11:30, whatever, and then heading straight down to Elm Street. Or Elm Ave, always get that mixed up.
Yeah, we already know nothing good happens on Elm Ave. Nothing good. So okay, so it's 11:30 at night, Brad.
Something like that.
Okay.
It's late. It's the middle of summer. Sneak out, and we just start drinking whatever. I mean, honestly, it was probably like Hennessy because everyone down there was smoking Newports and drinking Hennessy. It was a
sounds like a great time.
very lively bunch.
Yeah.
So couldn't handle it at all. Got all drunk, and someone was like throwing away these like wicker chairs, just waiting on the garbage can. So the dumb young brain kicks in, and it's like, I don't know, light them on fire, I guess.
Right. You see wicker, you think, light them up, baby.
It's like, I don't know, what could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
So we literally dragged these up the street to avoid collateral damage of the house.
Right. You're thinking
because you're responsible. Because you're
responsible young men.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're in the street. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the landing spot was just outside the North Wales Water Authority because one, plenty of space, and two, how are you going to burn down a water authority?
Right.
Oh, right there. It's like trying to light a fire extinguisher on fire. And it doesn't seem possible.
And you're thinking to yourself, like, hey, if we need water to put out this fire,
it's right there.
Right there. Yeah. Okay. Great. Right genius thinking, by the way.
Yes.
Keep going.
Some of my best work.
Right.
So needless to say, we don't have enough to get like the fire going. And because we're stuck on this dumbass idea as it is, we decided to plow forward further. And speaking of theft from the pharmacy, we found our kindling right around this time as the morning's newspapers had been dropped off recently
by my mom.
Were dropped off at some point in the night. So basically how they stocked the shelves for the pharmacy to sell like whatever daily news is all day. They had a big ass bin of it right out front of it. So we grabbed that, used that. Now we have some proper kindling. We got a big wicker chair and we got a fire. And then all of a sudden we got a really big fire. The thing lit up, and it's like, if you can imagine building a fire the size of a wicker chair, like the base of it is going to get up high. It's at this point where we decided not to break into the water authority to put out the fire, but probably felt it was a good time to wrap it up and get the hell out of Dodge. So it's like, I'm not putting this thing out. We got to go.
Yeah.
So we split up. I climb up back the roof, climb in the window, go to bed, and I'm like, that got out of hand. And like maybe 15 minutes later or whatever, I hear the fire trucks going through the neighborhood, and I'm like, that's gotta be some other fire.
Yeah. Is anyone else lighting chairs on fire?
I mean, that can't be our fire. And I was like, oh God, I fucked up. So whatever, went to bed. And this is like the middle of the summer.
You're like so worried that you're like, oh, I fucked up. Oh, well, let's go to bed. No big
Great
deal.
night's sleep.
Yeah.
Great night's sleep. Felt really terrible. Slept 13 hours.
All murderers sleep well in their prison cell. They know they're busted. You're like, all right, either I got away with it or I didn't. There's no reason to lose any sleep over it. Nothing I can do now.
Yeah. Okay. So nice. All right. So sorry, Brad.
So back to the next day. It's the middle of summer. The house is empty. I wake up and I'm like, I guess everything's fine. I didn't know what the hell I was thinking. I do remember I just made a delicious fried egg sandwich for breakfast. Fresh off the oven. Sat it down on the table. I'm like finding what I'm going to watch to eat this breakfast. And I hear a knock at the door. Didn't even get to take a bite. That's what I get for being. And there's old Officer Barry Hacker. I'm like, that's weird. What's he doing here? Because I'm like, how the fuck are they going to know it's me? I had no idea. He's like, blah, blah, blah. What's going on? Turns out it was much simpler detective work than that.
Why?
He puts me in the car. Yeah, so immediately the pharmacy's like, where's my fucking newspapers? Someone stole all my newspapers. And they're like, all right, who took the newspapers? And dude, like, you can see right out onto the main street, like those 3 windows behind the counter. If you remember that, I guess it would have been 2 red little heads bouncing around in there. Papers go missing. They know who we are. There's a big fire over there. And then probably about as quickly as I cried when the Shark Circle called me tits. The officer's like, you're going to jail. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, my mom. I'm a minor.
I just remember sitting in the back being like, fuck. This is bad, right? He's like, yeah, it's arson. I'm like,
oh shit.
He did. I'm like, you're not a judge. I didn't know that, man. I'm like, cop just told me it's arson. I'm going to jail. That was the funniest prank I ever played.
What was the ramifications of that?
That was all things considered, relatively light. That was I did community service at. It was a horse. Basically, it was like horse therapy for kids with special needs.
Okay.
Like Rachel's old
my screening
username. For lack of a better term. So yeah, like I was like mucking the stalls there, and like, yeah, that was
stable
not
worker.
So it wasn't too bad.
I mean, pretty much, dude. I was like flicking hay and picking up shit. Now, the first day I went home and immediately puked in our bathtub. I don't know what the hell happened, but like hanging around these dirty animals and touching shit and hay.
Oh man!
I just went home and Ralphed. I'm like, I'm not going back to that place. She's like,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I went
over.
Yeah, do the crime, you do the time. What are you gonna do?
No, I didn't go to community service that day I got arrested.
Right.
The hell are you talking about? You think a cop picked me up at house and then took me to a stable?
No.
He's like, you're going now.
He's like, get to work and let me know if you got any weed on you. I'm all out.
Hey.
No, I was saying like, you didn't want to go back, but you had to.
Yeah. Wrap that up, and I'm sure there was. I don't know. I don't really remember. I was pretty young.
Nice. Well,
old enough to know better, but young.
Right. I mean, also too, if you are looking for fire suspects or arson suspects, you got to go redheads first, right? Like, is that just? Yeah. That's.
It was also. Was it not you and Nick?
Yeah, it was. It was two redheads. I still think you're a bigot, but it didn't. Just because you happen to be right in this stance.
Shout out Nick DeVoe. It was his birthday yesterday.
Fan of the show. Listen to
What's up, Nick? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah, happy birthday. You can get a free episode of the Working Perspectives podcast available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. So real quick, before we gloss over this, sausage, you mentioned something about the papers being delivered by your mom. What's going on there?
She was on a paper route for a while.
Your mom did the papers?
Yeah. She's had like every
She was a newsie?
Yeah.
So
sounds to me like she's a grinder.
Yeah.
Sounds like she had to pay a lot for a house that her kid made her buy.
Yeah. I've actually found a lot more sympathy towards my mother in this podcast than I have my whole life. So
well, that's what we do here.
I'll bring it this Thanksgiving.
Shout out Rachel's mom, listener, fan of the show.
Oh, and a smoke show.
If you're listening, and we know you are.
Yeah, when we want to have a Working Perspectives podcast calendar, she's going to be on every month. Let me tell you. But okay,
she'll be glad to hear it.
Hey, let her know. She's when she wants to be on the show. Let me know.
Well, she was she would leave at like 3 a.m, I guess, every night.
I remember that.
God bless her.
Yeah, you remember because we all got caught sneaking out once, and I ran for my life in a way that I don't think I've ever run.
Why?
Again.
Was your mom was gonna just like kill you?
First of all, it was so late that any car that passed, I was like, that could be my mom. So and like I saw it and I'm like, that's it. Like this is my mom.
Yeah.
And who was were you with me, Allie, or I ran away with someone? I think it was us that ran.
Remember your mom used to always think I was so high.
Yeah, my mom used to
she just stopped staring in my eyes.
She used to just like scream at Allie and accuse her of being a drug addict.
Was she wrong?
No, yeah.
I mean, I remember I would call Allie at like 7:30 at night. I'd be like, Allie, what's going on? She'd be like, I just woke up. I'm like,
yeah, she's just
7:30 p.m. tired all the time. Thought she was high all the time too.
My mom would be like, they're huffing paint again.
Oh my God.
Pupils so dilated.
Anytime you speak to my mom, she'd be like, your pupils.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what about them? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Truly before I ever did any drug. But yeah, so she was already living in that vibe. And then, you know, God forbid she sees a wall of me and my friends walking the streets at 4 a.m., which is what happened.
And
on
she
her
what
little
did
paper
she
route.
Did she get out of the car and chase you, or she's like,
She did to them,
oh,
but
wow.
I ran. I had
You were
run
just like,
before she showed up. So I
Yeah.
like ran
You
through an
had your-
alley.
yep.
I think it was me and Allie.
Yeah.
And fell. I had like cuts the next day, running
Oh.
for my life.
Poor you.
And then as soon as I got to Crystal's to like, I was like pretending I was sleeping. Like as soon as I got inside, I was just like, and then I get a barrage of phone calls. It's like, where are you right now? Like everybody's out. Like I just found all your friends. And I was like, I'm sleeping. I was like, I don't know where they are. I don't know what you're talking about.
So out of breath.
Yeah,
I just woke up.
I'm like,
Everything's fine. Why are you calling me?
I'm like,
Oh
oh,
my
I'm sorry, I'm just waking up.
Yeah. I can imagine you running the streets and the alleys with your like Moses sandals on that you always wore. That would be
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, it probably would have been something like that.
Yep. I bet. All right.
Never in a normal shoe.
Well, shout out to your mom. Not only a hot mom, but a good parent as well. You got to crack down on these kids, you know? They're out causing no good in the lawless North Wales. So, all right, so let's keep it on, moving on down the road. Okay, so we are getting close to the top of time, but we're going to finish soon. So before we go, we'll do a couple more questions. So Sausage, starting with you again. What was your favorite place to hang out in North Wales? Oh, can I preface this by saying there's been a couple spots mentioned on the show. Between the Cribs, is that a thing?
I mean,
then,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Obviously, 8th and Church.
Yeah.
And then the Spot was in the woods.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
There was like a
so you
couch
take
or
that-
something.
Are you talking
Yeah, you
about
take-
like the way into the back of like the Pembroke Fields?
I believe so.
Or
yes.
what woods?
Yeah.
Uh,
Those woods.
there's that one. There's another spot. If you
Where
go
someone
all the
toppled into a bush.
way...
I mean,
Alley.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. Would love to
Where
hear the
someone-
She's here. Somebody.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to talk about her.
Okay. So either way.
Yeah, there was a different spot. If you go back down Elm, and then you can take that to cut through, and it basically takes you to the back of the pool. So if you drive into Norgwen, there's the whole trail.
All right. I know that. Yeah. I know where you're at. But
There's
okay.
those ones.
So Sausage, what was your favorite place to hang out in the Dirty Dub?
Honestly, I think the Big Cheese.
So
Hell
that
yeah.
has
And
been
the-
mentioned previously as well. The
That's a
law-
I feel
really
like I
good
would
one.
like take men to the Big Cheese. Like when I started like ever dating it, be like, what do I feel like doing? Like meet me at the cheese. Like that, or
So Satan's penis is telling Robbie 27, hey, meet me at the cheese in an hour. Is that
yeah,
what's going on?
telling Wrecked 25 to meet
At
me
the
at
elementary
cheese.
school?
Yeah.
There was a cabin and a
Okay.
cheese and a dangerous slide. That's what I was told. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But the cheese was like my like
That was
I
where you went to
that
get
like
down.
stood out to me. Not
Yeah.
really. It was just like a
I mean,
if I like was trying to think of a spot outside to go sit at, like it's a good seat. It was like a
That's-
couch.
it's the oddest structure to have in a playground, though, because it's just like a giant 4-foot concrete block where kids are running. And it was like
Still
there's
there?
nothing soft.
Yeah, you
think
just sit
so.
on it.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of
I
the
mean, we used
wrong
like that-
thing.
There was
I don't think
it
you
was
are,
like
Allie.
it looked like a big
Did it
horse
have holes
stable.
in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Swiss cheese.
That's why
Like
we
a
call it
Swiss
the
cheese,
cheese.
like a
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
I liked that thing.
And I know, but
It's
it's like
gone now.
literally, it's like an elementary schooler's height, and it's
Yeah.
just a giant concrete block. But
Oh, I see.
I mean, no one ever really got messed up on it, but it just seems like something that would have like been
It's
a
a
terrible
sculpture.
idea.
More than a block.
Mhm.
It has a major shape to it.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
You heard me.
pardon.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So the cheese, very cool. Allie, what was your favorite place to hang out in North Wellington?
Probably the Zigglers.
So
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that's the between
In
the
addition to the
cribs,
Zigglers.
right?
Or between the cribs or actually at the Zigglers house.
Yeah.
So
Just
in the
only
like,
the Zigglers.
so from what I was told before, and Liam had said this, Liam said like his mom was like, no one came in my fucking house, right?
Yeah.
But the Zigglers, people could just go
You
in.
can all go over there.
Doors
Yeah.
open.
It was like a big party spot, right?
I'm gonna double down on that and say the Zigglers trampoline.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make it real specific.
Yikes. Man, how did anyone ever sleep in that place? So, okay.
By being woken up.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, okay. So cool. So you're hanging out at the Zigglers between the crib. Brad, what about you? What was your favorite place to hang out in North Wales?
I mean, throughout the whole thing, definitely Park Place.
Park Place,
That
the
place
park,
was the
Side
shit.
place.
Parkside Playground.
Whatever,
Park
I don't even know
Place.
the fucking name.
We know what you're talking
growing up
about.
As a kid,
Put some respect on
That's
the
where-
name.
The pool was
Parkside.
there. The park was there. Yeah, the
pool
basketball
was there.
court.
You got the summer
pool
nights on
also
Manhunt.
in
You
general.
Oh.
go swimming at Norgwen all day.
Oh, Brad,
I
you were
loved it.
doing such nice things with your time.
Yeah,
Outdoors
Brad's
at the
yeah,
park.
Everybody did that.
Positivity.
You didn't yeah. You were out there a couple times.
I was, yeah.
Dude,
We hung at
Parkside
the
was
pool.
the
You were
Pretty hard.
sleeping the whole time. I would have invited you. You were sleeping.
Yeah.
I would be like, I just slept for 9 hours.
So
Why am I still
tired.
Very cool. So Parkside, which is like, or Park Place, Parkside, whatever, is like this Parkside Place is like, it's, I remember when they built the playground.
Yeah, so do I.
It was next level. It was like this massive castle with these huge slides and like, there's like a jail in there. I guess they were practicing for the fucking North Wales.
I mean, it
They're
was
like,
good practice.
Hey, get used to these bars, kids. You know.
I have a another abusive story about Parkside.
Please do share. Love the abuse, Sausage. Love
I know,
the abuse.
it's so bad. I was doing like, do you remember the things that you look through?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe this for audio listeners.
Okay. Glasses, periscope,
Yeah, like a
viewfinder,
periscope.
that little
Oh,
thing.
okay. Yeah.
So somebody is at the bottom of one and it moves at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I may have hit some people in the face. And then eventually someone that was too young, like a child.
Oh,
Like
no.
it was me and Jamie Reese. And we started just like, we're like, oh, someone's down there. Let's move it. Like let's keep moving it around. And it was like a kid. And I guess we like hit him in the head too hard.
no.
And this mother like ran out of Parkside clutching her child and screaming, being like, these bad kids are playing with the thing. And that's it. That's my story.
Yeah, you abused a toddler.
Yes, I abused a toddler.
Accidentally.
Accidentally. Okay.
Accidentally.
No,
let's
she just
be
got done
clear.
saying they would wait for people and then shake it really hard.
I know, but I didn't see
Premeditated.
how
Toddler.
I didn't see how young the child was.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you this.
First mistake.
I'll tell you this.
Mistake.
If someone ever did that to my kid, my wife would legit kill them. Kill all of them, and then.
So would I. That's
Yeah.
why I'm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
suffer
But,
from the memory.
yeah. Kids suck. What are you gonna do? That's what you get when there's no when it's lawlessness all the time. You know,
Out there at
kids can just go
Parkside.
crazy. So yeah, Parkside, great spot, great spot. Good shout, Brad. So all right, so we're coming near the top of time. So I want to get this question in, and then I'll probably let you guys go. So Sausage, we'll start with you as always. If you could change one thing about North Wales, what would you change?
Be richer, get more money pumping in that place.
Yeah.
Never invite Papa John.
Oh,
Hell
wow.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Papa John's
Fuck
not
that place.
invited, dude.
Yeah.
Nah.
Why not?
Blatantly across from Tony's.
Oh.
Fighting
It's
words.
disgusting, terrible trash
Yeah.
pizza.
Ew.
Yeah.
I
Your
know.
your brother even said your brother Justin Richardson, who's the co-host of the
He
Working
worked
Perspectives
there. He
podcast.
knows it's disgusting.
Yeah, he had said that he would get yelled at by the owner of Tony's because while working at Papa John's, he would go to Tony's on his break to get like pizza from Tony's.
As you
If you're
should.
gonna get pizza,
in his
you
Papa
would go
John's
directly
gear.
to Tony's.
Yeah, in his Papa John's gear. Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's the right move.
yeah.
He was correct.
15 minutes cash only, right? Isn't that what they say or something when you call in an order? Right.
Yes.
Well,
But okay, so cool. All right, so you would say get rid of Papa Janoski's, bring in some more
Love that.
people with money,
Hey, listen.
and raise
Don't
the
evict
property,
me and my
Ra-
mother.
raise the property value so it's even harder for your mom, and she has to get a fifth job. God,
You
Has
call
she-
you call Tony's, they tell you, 15 minutes cash only. You call Papa John, somebody calls you the N-word. You know what I mean? It's just pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to figure out. Tony's
I mean,
is
if the Papa's
survived
there that
Papa
day.
John's is not. Yeah,
Man, oh,
the Papa
man.
was there. Oh boy.
Oh, watch out. The Papa kept it popping. So nice. All right. Bradley, young Bradley. We'll go to you.
Young Bradley.
What is the one thing you would change about North Wibble Wibble?
Well, I gotta be careful here.
I mean,
Arson laws?
yeah. Maybe, yeah, the laws on arsenic.
Statute of limitations? I don't know,
Bam!
something. That's what I
Fucking
would do.
hey, God, Bern, you're fucking
Oh,
Johnny
God.
Crack tonight with the fucking hitters. Fucking hey, but okay.
But I got 2 balls.
2 balls. That's right. Yeah. Did you ever hear that joke? I'm sure the girls won't get this. It's like John Crux up to bat. What's the count? 2 balls, 1 out. Get it? He
Lost
only
me.
he only has one. John Crux is famous for only having 1 testicle. So there you go.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Now it's fun.
Hashtag testicular cancer awareness.
That
Hashtag
fame-worthy?
John Kruk, fan of the show, listener of the show.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon.
Shout
I
out
slept with a
testicles.
one bald man. I didn't notice a difference.
Don't talk about my brother that way. All right.
I mean, listen.
Mhm.
At what point, Rachel, in your adult sexual experience, were you like, I don't know, it just feels so different. There's not a second fall there. Like, who gives
Well,
a
no,
shit?
I heard it about him because it was my friend's roommate. So I already knew this issue existed, and I was kind of waiting to notice a difference, which I
Yeah,
don't-
and
I
you-
really
It'd probably
did.
be exciting, right? What the
I
hell's
mean,
going on there?
he was good.
I want to meet a
It
girl
was
with
all-
one titty. Does it all just become
Exciting
one
in other
giant
ways.
titty?
Like more like 1 ovary. You're like, I mean, how many ovaries do girls have? I don't know.
7.
30?
Everyone knows this now.
I don't know
Um,
either.
All different numbers. Well done.
Yeah. So okay. So
my God.
Dynamite drop in there, sausage. But yeah, Brad, one thing you could change besides having all men have both testicles in North Wales, what is one thing you would change?
It's the perfect town. It's the perfect borough. There's not a single thing to be changed about North Wales.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow. Keep the arson laws. They're the way they are. Very cool. Allie, to you, is there anything you would change about North Wales, now or when you were growing up or anything?
Just bring the penny candy back.
Ooh.
Hell
That's
yeah,
not
get
Is
just
that
the, is
pharmacy
the
back.
pharmacy still there though?
No.
Oh, bring the whole
Yeah,
damn
also-
thing back.
Sweet
No,
repeats.
It was robbed blind in the late 90s and early 2000s and was
Yeah.
no longer
Yeah.
They
financially
couldn't
Oh, I
keep their
didn't
pills
know
or their
that.
newspapers.
I didn't know that.
So penny candy, not just in North Wales, but worldwide, penny candy needs to be brought back. I mean,
I'll sign that for
Started in Utah.
Universal concern.
Yeah, it costs 3 cents to make a penny. So what are we even doing here? Right? Make them worth something. So, okay. Very cool. Nice. Well, excellent answers from everybody. Love it. So we're coming to the top of time. This has been another Ndub Roundtable Next Generation. Before we get out of here, Sausage Ocelous, aka Rach, aka Racklar, aka Satan's Penis. Is there anything you want? Satan's Peen.
It's
Sorry.
a perfect name. Don't mess it up.
Yep, you're right.
X.
So is there any
filthy penis talk?
is there anything you want to say to the Satan Peens fans out there before we take off?
I have done.
You have
Get
what?
it? I'm not saying it.
Look at Brad's face.
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I was circling back to my other screen name, which should be cut out.
I got
Oh, you started to say I am down. I thought you said I am.
New screen name.
That's what I want to leave the universe with. It gets better, North Wales. Don't worry.
That's what you want to say to your adoring fan base?
It gets better out there, North Wales.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Go to the creek.
Yep, go to the creek. Very cool. Allie, before we take off, is there anything you want to say to the North Wales fan base before we get out of here?
I miss it.
Yeah.
Basically, I haven't.
I
been
mean,
home
if
in a
you're
while.
in Utah, you probably miss anywhere else, right?
Yeah, yeah. I miss the city. I miss the people.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's
Allie
Utah
has a
like?
beautiful view from her yard.
Utah is beautiful. Yeah, I do see mountains are out back. If you don't mind the occasional missionary Mormon knocking on your door, it's a pretty good place.
I was just about to
Who
say,
minds that? Who minds that? No one
Yeah.
ever
Oh my
minds
Come
god,
on.
it's bad.
give me a Mormon every day. Let's go. So, okay. A young Bradley. Anything you want to say to the adoring public before we take off?
As you can clearly tell from all these people on it, if there's one thing North Wales builds, some people with some goddamn character in it.
I would agree.
Yep.
Chock full of fucking character, I'd say. Chock
Yeah.
fucking full of it. Nice. So, Bern, I know you and me are usually in agreement with this, but I would love it if all three of you guys, if you're willing, would be willing to come back on the show.
Oh, hell yeah. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I've barely scratched any surface. I'm not done.
No, I mean, if you guys are all willing, we'd love to have you back on the show as guests. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I will be. You guys have said it on air. I have it recorded, so I will be contacting you for booking dates. Just an FYI. So but yeah,
Be on the lookout.
just know it's coming. So nice. Benoit, anything you want to say to the 44th fan base before we get out of here?
No, man, but I will just say the same thing I said after I did that first round table, man. FF and Ndub, they seem like very similar places. Get on your bike, find somewhere weird to go, do some weird shit,
Light
and
yourself on
then
fire.
wait for the statutes of limitations to expire so you can talk about it. And that's
Yeah.
how I grew up as well.
Yeah, same. In the land of the free, home of the brave, Lanesdale, Pennsylvania is very similar. Very, very similar. But yeah, so, all right. Well, I would love to thank our guests today, Alexandra Benicasa, Sausage Rachel Ocelous, the Ginger Coxman, young Bradley Richardson, and my co-host, Bern Podcasy. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle. You can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram at Work Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, then please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And for the love of God, please like and subscribe so my wife leaves me alone about doing the show. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See you. Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book, but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in Kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in Boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.